Hey guys, how's it going? It's your friendly neighborhood tech fanatic again, back at it again with another video, unboxing and review. So I'm going to start the video by saying I think I finally did it. I think I finally found a really good pair of truly wireless headphones. I mentioned them in my last video review when I was looking at the JLab Epic Airs, which, as you know, I was definitely not a fan of those headphones. I returned them almost immediately just because they were subpar in just about every possible aspect a product could be. And, you know, I just wasn't a big fan, and you can watch my video on that if you want to see my reasoning for it. But here is what I got as the replacement. The Jabra Elite Sport. Now, honestly, I was actually looking at these headphones before I ever even heard of the JLab Epic Airs. The reason I didn't go for these was the higher price. They are $250, at least at Best Buy where I got them. That's $100 more than the JLab Airs, so they definitely aren't the cheapest, but in a second I'll definitely let you know why I think they are worth the extra $100 over the JLab Air, and also why I think they are worth the extra $50 to $100 more in comparison to things like the Apple AirPods, the Samsung Gear Icon X's, and wireless earbuds X, Y, and Z. So before I get started on kind of my initial impressions and review, I wanted to do kind of a quick unboxing. I've already opened these, so everything's kind of not in the same place, but I want to go over some stuff that really impressed me about these things. So, number one, I really like the box. Jabra has always been really simple, straightforward. They put all of their information on there just like normal. So what they're saying is it has superior sound, and one thing that they really emphasize on their website is how good the bass is on these things. Completely cord-free, they are completely wireless, up to 9 hours of charge, and they are implying that you can use the included cradle that comes in the box to charge them up while you're carrying them in your pocket or whatever it might be. And a big standout feature here is the heart rate monitor, which is something that the Gear Icon X is launched with, and things like the Bragi Icon, or the Bragi Dash headphones, or the Bragi headphones, which didn't have them. I don't know why I just said that. But anyways, the heart rate monitor is a neat little feature, which I'll get into as well. And what's really cool is they are completely water resistant, so that means you can get them as wet as you want to without any kind of damage. And what's really cool is that Jabra is actually offering inside the box a 3-year warranty that protects against sweat damage. So I think that's really cool, because the primary use for these, at least in my opinion, would be for the convenience in workouts, because you don't have any wires getting in your way. So anyways, let's get to the unboxing here. It's a little magnetic latch here, and also it talks about the Jabra Sport App on here that you can download for these headphones. These let you take control of the headphones, basically like you can for the Gear Icon X's or like the Apple AirPods. And you can control things like what kind of workouts you want it to follow, how often you want it to take your heart rate, things of that sort. However, I'll get into in a second why I do not use the app at all as a way of conserving battery, because I just don't find it necessary. So I'll get into that as well. So let's open up the top flap here. Nice little presentation. It shows you all the different sizes of earbud that you have here. A few things here for the app. A picture of a pretty lady with the headphones in. And then you would have the headphones themselves, which I've already taken them out. They'd be up here in those little empty slots there, but they are currently in the charging pack. So let's further open up this box and see what we have inside. So here we have the charging case, which in my opinion is on par in quality to the Gear Icon X's, and significantly better quality than the JLab Epic Airs were. So here are the headphones themselves, which are popping out of the case. Let me put them up on a pedestal here in the light. So here's what they look like inside of the charging/carrying case. I think it's very basic. You have two little LEDs at the bottom here that either turn orange or green based on whether or not the headphones are charging or not. Each headphone itself has a little LED that indicates whether they're paired to each other or paired to your phone. So that's really useful. And it's very portable, very pocketable in my opinion. Not bulky like the Bragi Dash one is in my opinion, so I think that's really nice. And then if we take a look at the earbuds themselves, they are very tiny. They're a little bit bigger than the Gear Icon X's. In overall volume, they protrude the ear a little bit more, but I don't think that's a bad thing whatsoever. I think they I think they're very nicely put together. One thing I also really like are these silicone tips. I'm a big fan of these things on completely wireless earbuds. I think they help keep them in your ear much better than, say, like the AirPods, for instance. And another thing I'll get into is the ear tips that they include in the box. Are really, really nice because they're foam and they conform to the ear really well. Otherwise, on the earphones themselves, I don't know if it'll be able to focus on this, but you've got two little dots here at the top and the bottom. I think those are microphones. One which will work for listening into your voice on phone calls, and then the other one for blocking out noise from the outside, which is a really neat feature of these things as well. Next, you have two physical buttons on this one. You have volume up and volume down, and then on the other one you have open circle and close circle. Basically what this one does is if you press and hold volume down, that powers it on. On this one, if you press and hold open circle, it powers it on, and then the earbuds pair automatically. It's still a little excessive, I think, that you have to power them both on separately to use them, but these things are good enough that I can forgive that. So, not the biggest deal. And the buttons themselves, they are very easy to click on even when the buds are in your ear. They don't wobble or anything. They stay in place really well. And the buttons aren't very difficult to click, so I like that. And the controls themselves are very easy. You can press and hold the open circle button on here, or I'm sorry, click it twice to turn on the audio transparency so you can hear everything around you, amongst other controls. So I think they're fairly easy to use for what it's worth. Now let's set these aside real quick and I'll give you a tour of the rest of the box here. Let's pull that out. So inside of here, I already pulled out two of the wingtips here, obviously, so you have a significantly smaller size in here for people who have shallower ear wells. And then you have a plethora of earbud tips. So you have three extra pairs of regular silicone tips, like you would get with any pair of earbuds. And then you get ones like these, which are made out of foam, and you'll see if I squish them, it takes them a little while to get back into their normal shape. And I really, really like the fact that they included these with the headphones. I think that they fit significantly better, they isolate the noise a lot better, they improve the bass significantly, so really big shout out to Jabra for even including those in the box. Next up, we have the typical booklet of goods in here. One thing I really like that Jabra included in here that I didn't see for instance like the JLab Airs or the Gear Icon X's or the AirPods is that you get a lot of warranty information in here, how to get help if your headphones malfunction and stuff like that. And I think for little electronics like these that you pay a lot of money for, it's nice to have. Outside of all the normal other stuff, you just get the charger in here, so nothing really special. So let me go ahead and set the box aside here so I can get a little bit more in depth about the star of the show here. So the Jabra Sport headphones have been an absolute pleasure to use. They are all around just about everything I've ever wanted out of a fully wireless pair of headphones. I'll start the list off. One, they are extremely comfortable. They stay in the ear very firmly, and even better so, in my opinion, because they're a bit more robust than like the Gear Icon X's, for instance, because they just fit more snugly, and it's not to the point to where it's painful, in my opinion. They just fit perfectly fine, and no matter how much I click the buttons on them, no matter how vigorously I move my head, they just stay in very well. Number 2 is battery life. So far, I have gone 2 full gym cycles, which that's all I've been using them for. 2 full gym cycles, which equates to 4.5, maybe 5 hours of use, and so far I haven't actually had to recharge them. The case itself didn't come with any battery, so I haven't bothered charging it yet, and so the headphones have actually survived for a good long while. And now this is where my suggestion comes in handy, is if you wind up buying these things, I suggest, unless you don't have like a smartwatch or a phone that already has a fitness app on it, I suggest not to use the Jabra Fitness Connect app. I think it's a waste of battery for your phone, because it's going to constantly keep the GPS on and the accelerometer and the gyroscope and all that stuff, and then it's going to kill the battery life of the headphones a lot faster too, because it's going to keep the heart rate monitor on constantly. It's going to give you the voice commands, which is going to use power, and I just think it's pointless if you have something like a Gear S3 or an Apple Watch or something like that that is capable of doing the workout controlling and stuff like that, you know, separately. So otherwise, another thing that I really have to touch on is the fact that they included the audio transparency feature on here. I think it's really cool to be able to click the little open circle on the headphone twice to allow the audio from around you to come in. Very useful at the gym if somebody's trying to talk to you, ask you a question, one of your buddies walks up. Really nice to have that. Also, very clear audio when you're talking on the phone. I had 2 conversations so far. I asked the people how I sounded on the other side of the line, and I was told that it was really, really good. So, you know, major shout out on the microphone use here on these guys. The next thing, which is kind of out of the box, and I already touched on it, but the fact that they include an extended 3-year warranty for something as simple as damage from sweat, I think that's really big. I mean, I think it's unlikely to happen considering they are saying these are completely water resistant, but still it's nice of them to, it's thoughtful at least of them to include something extra like that. So that's really, really nice. The next thing I have to say is build quality. These things are actually built very, very well. Unlike with the JLab Epic Airs, the seams on these are very, very well put together. The headphones feel solid. Just so much more worth the $250 than the JLabs were worth the $150. And including the plethora of features, the comfort and everything, these are extremely worth it. And now my final tick of good things about these headphones to add to, you know, the benefits that you get for the higher price is the audio on these things. Now, the audio on the JLab Epic Airs sounded just way too airy, way too blown out. It sounded like an echo inside of a large stadium. It just wasn't good. Whereas with these, I was actually quite blown away whenever I first listened to them. Now, they aren't like Sony MDR-80s, for instance, where you're going to get probably the best audio I've ever heard out of wireless earbuds, but these things for completely wireless earbuds, for things that are going to be slightly underpowered because they don't have big batteries, these things had immense audio quality. They had a wonderful sound stage, they had really good resonance, they had a really great audio depth of field. The sound was just very dynamic, punchy bass whenever I was listening to music that required it. Everything sounded good from rock and roll to rap. So, you know, overall, I have been very, very impressed with my experience with these things. And I think that's something that Jabra needs to be applauded for, because, man, I think they struck a home run here. These things are a major go. You guys need to pick these up if you are looking for wireless earbuds, if you're looking for something outside of the Apple ecosystem, outside of the Samsung ecosystem, just something different. In my opinion, these are absolutely worth $250. In my opinion, these are wonderful headphones, and I think that anybody out there looking for a pair would absolutely love these. So you should go to Best Buy or Jabra's website, wherever you can pick these up, and definitely get yourself a pair, especially if you got yourself the JLab Epic Airs and were as disappointed as I was. So yeah, that's my unboxing and review of these guys. A little bit of a last message here for you. I'm going to have a few videos coming up here in the next week where I'm going to be covering kind of my favorite technology. We're going to be taking a look at my bedroom and seeing kind of what kind of tech I have inside of my room. And I'm going to be revealing some technology that is kind of outside of the regular realm of the tech world. Something that people may not necessarily think of when they think technology. But, you know, I think it'll be something neat to cover on my page. So I really hope you guys tune in the next week. I'm going to have a couple videos coming your way. We're going to tour my room. We're going to tour my favorite technology that I have in my bedroom and everything that I work with. So I'm really excited to show that to you guys. Again, if you liked my video, if you like the information I provided you, please subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. And thank you for your time. I really appreciate you guys sitting through this video and listening to what I have to say. Have a good one, guys.